By the authority given in the statutes of the Open University, I declare this congregation open for the conferment of degrees and the presentation of graduates. Distinguished guests, graduates, and friends of the university, it is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you all to the fifth of the Open University's degree ceremonies being held in 2016. We're delighted to welcome Mr. Tom Boland, Chief Executive of the Higher Education Authority, Mr. Mark Crystal from Enterprise Ireland, and Mr. Brian Dalton and Mr. Jerry Maloney from RTE, all of whom have found time in their busy diaries to be with us this afternoon. It's also my great pleasure to welcome our honorary graduate, Mrs. Sheila Coleman, who we are delighted to be able to honour today. In 2015, the Open University awarded over 25,500 qualifications, ranging from certificates of higher education to Doctor of Philosophy. Throughout 2016, more than 8,000 graduates will be presented for their qualifications at degree ceremonies such as this one today in Dublin. These are being held in 10 different towns and cities across England and also in Belfast, Cardiff and Edinburgh. This illustrates the extraordinary scale, scope, and reach of the Open University. It goes without saying that today is a very important occasion in the life of you, our graduates, your families and your loved ones, as well as the university staff who, we hope, have nurtured and supported you through your studies. You could be forgiven for thinking that the occasion is so important then it needs to be solemn. You'd be quite wrong. In every sense, this afternoon is a celebration. So we will be very disappointed if anyone crosses the stage this afternoon to anything less than thunderous applause, or whatever other way you choose to celebrate and express your enthusiasm and support for them. So with that in mind, why don't all of today's graduates briefly stand? You'll be doing lots more standing up, don't worry. There's one more way you can show your appreciation of your graduate. If you post messages or photos on social media with the hashtag #OU_ceremonies. Your congratulations will be seen not only by people here at the ceremony, but by the world outside as well. Today's ceremony will begin with the presentation of those graduates who have gained the higher degrees and first degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Engineering and Bachelor of Laws, and have been able to attend here today. They will be presented by Mr. John Addy, Assistant Director of the Open University in Ireland. We will then see the awarding of the honorary degree of Doctor of the University to Mrs. Sheila Coleman. Dr. Leslie Budd, Reader in Social Enterprise in the Open University Business School, will present Mrs. Coleman, who will sign the honorary graduate's book and make a reply. Then we will continue with our presentation of graduates who have gained Bachelor of Science degrees, foundation degrees, diplomas of higher education, and professional graduate certificates in education and have been able to attend here today. They will be presented by Mrs. Heather Laird, Assistant Director of the Open University in Ireland. To conclude the ceremony, I'll give a personal address to the graduates. I now call upon Mr. Addy to present the graduates.
Pro-Chancellor, I shall now present graduates who have gained higher degrees and have been able to attend here today. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, I present to you for a thesis entitled Ecological and Human-Related In Vitro Bioassays as Supporting Tools for the Chemical-Based Risk Assessment of Environmental Medicine, Dr. Diego Baderna. And for a thesis entitled The Influence of Tumor Microenvironment on Osteosarcoma Progression, Dr. Ilaria Torselli. For the degree of Doctor in Education, I present to you for a thesis entitled E-Learning in a Rural Irish Primary Classroom, Implementation and Possibilities, Dr. Anne Valerie Mary Moriarty. For the degree of Master of Arts in Art History, I present Siobhan Scully. For the degree of Master of Arts in Education, I present Sinead Hall. Claire Malone. Susan O'Connor. For the degree of Master of Arts in English, I present Stacey Donaghy. For the degree of Master of Arts in History with distinction, I present Kieran Gull. For the degree of Master of Arts in English, David Linnane. Rachel Singleton. For the degree of Master of Arts in History with distinction, Emma Mahon. For the degree of Master of Arts in History, Michael Whitty. For the degree of Master of Arts in Music, Roger Hanna. Kieran McManus. For the degree of Master of Arts in Online and Distance Education, Isabel Butler. For the degree of Master of Business Administration with distinction, Michael Dineen. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Stefan Benzing. Ayodele Bomide. Bill Gain. Jerry Golding. Dieter Herman. Nicola Kenny. Karen Lehner. Beatrice Monolache. Andrew McGovern. Tony Mullen. Rory O'Connor. Brian Parkinson. Andrew Sadlier. The degree of Master of Business Administration, Technology Management, Fabio Lapi. Freddie Mora. Desmond O'Hara. Andy Thompson. For the degree of Master of Engineering, I present Ashley Armstrong. For the degree of Master of Education, I present Thaisa Braga. Elaine Castles. Sarah Cormican. Karen Higgins. Laura Jordan. Linda Levy. Hazel Maguire. Angela Martin. Nina McRainer. Bernie Mealy. Amy Montiel. Deirdre O'Shea. David O'Callaghan. Marilyn O'Riordan. Claire Quirk. Anthony Sharkey. For the degree of Master of Engineering, I present Michael Maguire. Derek MacDonnell. For the degree of Master of Science in Advancing Healthcare Practice, I present Catherine Coughlin. For the degree of Master of Science in Computing for Commerce and Industry, I present Christian Dietrich. For the degree of Master of Science in Engineering, I present Kieran Costello. For the degree of Master of Science in Environmental Management, I present Simon Alexander. For the degree of Master of Science in Psychological Research Methods, I present Mary Fahey. For the degree of Master of Science in Technology Management, I present Thomas Slattery. Pro-Vice-Chancellor, I shall now present graduates who have gained a Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Engineering and Bachelor of Laws degrees and have been able to attend here today. The full subject details are printed in the insert with your ceremony programme. For the degree of a Bachelor of Arts with first-class honours, I present Nicola Clark. Fiona Dorchester. Vice-Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, for something a little extra special, we have graduating together, firstly with a Bachelor of Arts with first-class honours in Susan Hortop, and her husband graduating with a Bachelor of Science with honours, Tim Hortop. Tim and Susan Hortop. Also, for the Bachelor of Arts with first-class honours, I present John Mackey. Anna McQueen. Colette Murnane. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours, Linda Bergin. Damon Blake. Donal Connaughton. Karen Ann Coughlin-Pearce. Mirka Frommenweiler. Greg Hannigan. Jennifer Hardy. Jamie Hayhurst. Martina Kelly. Brendan Lane. Neve Ryan. Teresa Waters. Ross Weir. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, I present Kath Demain. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Business Management, I present Jennifer Keir. For the degree of Bachelor of Engineering with Honours, I present Clint Borg. Liam Flynn. Paul Gaskin. Paul Kelly. Liam Murphy.
Pro-Vice-Chancellor, colleagues, graduates, guests. It's a particular pleasure to award this honorary degree. For myself, the award to Sheila Coleman combines two of my lifelong passions and commitments, sport and social justice. It's appropriate that this event is being held in the Great Arena and home to the Gaelic Athletic Association, just over 100 years since the Easter Rising that presaged independence for the Republic of Ireland. It's also particularly appropriate because Sheila's maternal grandparents came from Dublin and her father from the West Coast. Sheila classes herself as Irish. Sheila Coleman is an unsung hero of the fight for social justice in the UK. For over 27 years, she has devoted herself tirelessly and without financial reward to the Hillsborough Justice Campaign, fighting on behalf of the victims and survivors of the 1989 disaster that occurred in Sheffield in England, which cost the lives of 96 people and blighted that of untold survivors, families and friends. Her colleagues in the organisation readily acknowledge that the campaign has only been sustained through Sheila's resolute commitment to securing justice for the victims and survivors. As the current chair put it, without Sheila Coleman, there is no Hillsborough Justice Campaign. This nomination honours Sheila not only for her dedication to those most directly affected by Hillsborough, but also in recognition of the national and international impact and significance of her work. The Hillsborough Justice Campaign has advanced the cause of social justice through its exposure of the repeated failure of the English legal system to protect individuals and the lengths to which institutions, most notably but not only the police in England, have been prepared to go to cover up their mistakes and wrongdoing at the expense of those they are meant to serve and protect. Sheila Coleman has been at the heart of this struggle since the very outset. Her forensic intellect enabled her to chase down evidence and subject to relentless scrutiny. Her selfless compassion prevented more than one survivor committing suicide and supported many others through long personal struggles. Her dogged determination meant she never hesitated despite people telling her to walk away because they are too powerful. It was the singular and extraordinary combination of these qualities that saw the campaign through the wilderness years, when it was commonly believed that the deaths and suffering were all self-inflicted. The publication of the Hillsborough Independent Panel's report in 2012 brought about a shift that led to fresh investigations of the police conduct by the Independent Police Complaints Commission of England and Wales, and the reopening of inquests into the deaths of victims. In recognition of its unwavering dedication to seeking justice for the 96 victims, their families and survivors of the Hillsborough disaster, the Hillsborough Justice Campaign was awarded Liberty's Long Walk Award for Human Rights in 2012. Last month, the Hillsborough inquest jury, after hearing 2 years of evidence, finally delivered the verdict that Sheila and the Hillsborough Justice Campaign had been campaigning for, concluding that the 96 football fans who died in the 1989 disaster were unlawfully killed. Among the many personal sacrifices she has made in dedicating herself to the cause was the abandonment of a much-loved academic career. She was a lecturer and senior researcher in sociology and criminology at Liverpool Hope University in England, and previously, while at Edge Hill University, co-authored No Last Rites, The Denial of Justice and the Promotion of Myth in the Aftermath of the Hillsborough Disaster. This is an exemplary work of scholarship that bears all the hallmarks of her campaigning work. Rigorous attention to detail, objective analysis of the facts, resilience in the face of difficulties, and above all, unanswering regard for the integrity and dignity of those whose interest her work has served. In an age of political cynicism, Sheila's work has shown that with commitment, social justice can prevail. These are all the qualities that the Open University aspires to in its scholarship, and it reflects well on our institution that we recognise the complete embodiment in Sheila Coleman. Pro-Vice-Chancellor, by the authority of the Senate, I present you for the honorary degree of Doctor of the University, Sheila Coleman.
Thank you to Leslie Budd for that wonderful citation. It's actually quite hard to listen to things being said about yourself, but really beautiful words from him. I'd also like to thank Frank Monaghan from the Open University, who nominated me for this award. And those people who know me well know that I don't take easy to taking plaudits or awards. But I thought long and hard about it, and a lot of you in this room will recognize what I say, and I'm sure it will resonate with people, that sometimes you have to listen to what others say to you. And if you have a social conscience and a sense of responsibility, sometimes you take things not just for yourself, but for those around you. I'm honoured to take this award and share it with the good people of the Hillsborough Justice Campaign, because we've walked a long road together, and a very rocky road, as they say here in Dublin. A lot of dark years where we did take on the might of the state, and where people did tell us to go away, and where the easiest thing would have been to go away. The easiest thing for me, because I didn't lose anybody at Hillsborough, nor was I there. I was not a survivor. However, I was always humbled by those people who'd lost children, and those people who survived and were traumatized, and to this day remain traumatized, because they taught me, and I understood it as a mother, just what you do to fight for justice for your children or for your family. And that is what they did. And I would just like to single out two people who I worked incredibly closely with, John Glover and Anne Williams, both of whom lost their children, both of whom were at the forefront of fighting and actually bringing about major steps forward with all this. And both who sadly died, neglecting their own health, fighting for justice for their children, who never lived to see last month and the unlawful killing verdicts being recorded against their dead children's names. And I do pay them particular honour because they went that extra mile. And in terms of sticking with a campaign and not becoming embittered and still believing in the goodness of people, when what you've experienced firsthand has been cover-up and conspiracy, sometimes takes a lot to do, and you have to look to other people. I was extremely fortunate in the people I considered good friends over the years. And again, I'll single out two people who taught me a tremendous amount over the years. Both from this country, Paddy Hill from the Birmingham 6 and Jerry Conlon from the Guildford 4, who suffered at the hands of the British government and who spent many years in prison for things they didn't do. Both of them taught me that it was possible to retain a humanity and still have faith in the goodness, the fundamental goodness in people, even though you have been treated so badly. Sadly, Jerry's no longer with us, but both of those people continued to work with others when they came out of prison. They didn't go away and lick their wounds. They set about trying to help other miscarriage of justice cases, and they inspired me tremendously. But I'd like to reach out to you people here today and pay my respects to you, because anybody who undertakes an in-depth course of study, it's difficult and requires a tremendous amount of discipline. For Open University students, you do it on top of employment or your careers, your family commitments, and you spend an awful lot of time studying. And I do believe there's that little extra something from an Open University degree. So I really do have the utmost respect for you. But I would also like to pay tribute to your families, many of whom probably, if they're anything like mine, consider themselves long-suffering families, because I'm sure you will all recognise the sacrifices people make. And when people like me who get involved in campaigns and are slightly obsessive and can't stop because of that fight and knowing you're right and not giving up, the people around you suffer. And, you know, so please, I know you're celebrating today, but bear a thought for your poor families who will be celebrating with you today, but just what you've put them through, I'm sure, over a longer number of years given an open university degree. With that in mind, I'd like to pay tribute to my family who are here today. My brother Philip, my son Emil, and my 6-year-old grandson Blaze, who gets the better end of me and more time with me than my poor son ever did because of my involvement in things. He does threaten, he did threaten many times to call in social services on me. Because people do sacrifice, they make tremendous sacrifices. And over the years, people have said to me, where do you get your fight from? Where do you? And as Leslie rightly said, I abandoned an academic career, firstly a PhD, and then my employment altogether to voluntarily work on this campaign because it mattered to me. I saw so many lives ruined, survivors committing suicide, just the lies of what had happened. It was really appalling. And we worked in tremendously difficult circumstances. Forensic is the right word because there was still an ongoing cover-up. But it was so important, and I like to think that I got the fight and the longevity, the ability to stay involved in the campaign from my genes. And I do think it's in my blood, and it does flow from this side of the Irish Sea. And I would just like to say that if those of you who engage in research, an awful lot of it is a marathon and not a sprint. For myself, I abandoned any notion of a PhD because I considered it unethical, that I would benefit professionally from people's experiences, whilst those experiences were one of cover-up, conspiracy, and now, as we know, and I can say, unlawful killing. But I took this, and I'm so happy to take this on behalf of my good friends who want me to take it, because it rubber stamps our work. By taking this, you're giving us a status, a kudos for us to carry on our work. And I'm honoured to take it. I'm honoured to take it in this city where my family originate from and a city that I love so much. And so in closing, I would just like to pay tribute to two special people who I think gave me those qualities. One is my maternal grandmother, Bridget Connolly, who came from the slums of Dublin and who faced tremendous disadvantage and physical disability, but who taught me that you could succeed through adversity. And the other is my mother, her daughter, Magdalene, who taught me the value of loyalty. Thank you very much for this. I am greatly honoured.
Pro-Vice-Chancellor, continuing the presentation of graduates who have gained a first degree, I shall now present graduates who have gained Bachelor of Science degrees, foundation degrees, diplomas of higher education, and professional graduate certificates in education and have been able to attend here today. The full subject details are printed in the insert in your ceremony programme. I present for the degree of Bachelor of Science with first class honours, Emma Duff. Alison Elul. Ronan Hartnett. Sarah Lynn. John McGee. Sarah O'Grady. Diane Pelley. Gráinne Quinn. Shivra Reid. Daniel Walsh. I present for the degree of Bachelor of Science with honours, Lisa Battersby. Barbara Blaskovich. Elaine Bowles. Matthew Boyle. Anne Byrne. Aidan Carty. Seamus Donovan. Martin Dorchester. Olga Doris. Martin Dungan. Seamus Heffernan. Naomi Hunt. Simon Jeffers. Hazel Kennedy. Eleanor Lahart. Rima Malukaita. Gerard McManus. Lisa McCann. Alan McInerney. Katie McKnight. Mary McNeely. Bridget Merrick. Declan Merriman. Deirdre Mullins. Lisa Jane Murphy. Miriam Murphy. Nolwenn Newman. Anne O'Donovan. Isabel O'Driscoll. Stephen Pinniger. Rose Prendergast. Mary Rosny. Barry Ryan. Connor Sherlock. John Williams. William Wilson. Andrea Worthington. For the degree of Bachelor of Science, I present Paul Doody. Porrick Gill. Faisal Hammy. Brian McCranor. Nidarsha Sarah Singh. For a foundation degree, I present Peter Baston. For the Diploma of Higher Education in Social Care, I present Paula Maguire. For the Diploma of Higher Education, Jonathan O'Neill. And for the Professional Graduate Certificate in Education, I present Niall McConnell.
Phew. Good afternoon, everyone. Guests, members of Senate, staff, and of course, graduates. This is a very special day here for everyone. One to remember for the rest of your lives. Without a doubt, the best part of my job is presiding at degree ceremonies like this one, it gives me the opportunity to say very well done to each one of you and to shake hundreds of hands as I have done today and to see all of the joyful expressions as they come across the stage. It was there in the eyes of each and every one of you as you crossed the stage. I saw a blend of elation, nervousness, a little bit of relief, occasional blind panic, but above all, there was just this overwhelming joyful delight in having achieved something incredible. And that is no overstatement. What you have done is incredible, and today is a really important day for you and for everyone who supported you. One that you will want to remember with a sense of pride for the rest of your lives. 500,000 people have earned degrees and diplomas with us in the 43 years since our first degree ceremony was held in 1973. Each one of you as individuals knows how much effort was needed to put in to do that. We're all very proud of what you, our graduates, have accomplished in your journey with the Open University, and what a journey it has been. It takes a very special kind of person to reach where you are sitting right now. You're all unique, there's no doubt about that, but you all have one thing in common, one of which you should be immensely proud. You now have official membership of a very exclusive group of people. Being a graduate of the OU means various things in life and signifies a lot about the journey you have been on. Now I'm going to do a little bit of a straw poll thing here in a minute. I'm going to ask graduates a few questions, see if we can discover a little bit more about each other. And if you don't mind raising your hands when I ask some questions and keeping them raised, I think we might sort of see some interesting things here. So put your hand up if you were employed or did voluntary work at some stage during your studies. If you helped bring up a family during your study. Keep your hands up if you cared for parents, children, or other dependents during your study. And please don't put your hand up if you'd rather not to it, if this is a tricky question for you, but if you studied while registered with a disability. So everybody who put their hand up just now, put your hand up again. That's quite amazing. Almost every student here has needed to fill some other obligation alongside their study. Compare that with students at conventional universities whose extra duties might only extend to their sports team or indeed their commitment to the student bar. Your efforts have been so much greater. And let me share a small frustration I have over the language that is invariably used about students like you. Those conventional students are described as full-time students, and OU students like you are described as part-time students. Part-time. Part-time. More like double time with the OU. That's a tough shift that you've been on. And what a commitment you have made. On average, OU students take 6 years to graduate. The OU is not like other universities, and you are not like other graduates. You know it, everyone here on the stage knows it, and your friends and family here today know it too. Boy, do they know it. I know there is only one thing harder than being an OU student, and that is living with an OU student. So we should also pay tribute to your family and friends. We should pay tribute to them for supporting you when you were getting going, for standing by you when things were getting tough, and for celebrating with you now in your moment of glory. So this is the time for you, the graduates here today, to acknowledge the support you have received from your family and friends who are here with us today. I'd like you to give them a huge round of applause. You have been part of a university that engages in teaching and learning at all levels of higher education. We also carry out research that we seek to have impact through on society. We work with business, with industry, with governments supporting innovation and influencing policy where we can, and in support of promoting widening access and social justice, which are really parts of our mission. Many students do not see all the research we do, but the knowledge that it helps to generate not only serves an important purpose in our society, it also informs much of the work that you have studied for your qualification. For example, the Open University is one of the top 3 universities for space science in the UK in terms of research power. And this research captures the public imagination too. We're incredibly proud of our part in the comet-chasing Rosetta mission, which was awarded Physics World Breakthrough of the Year recently. The world watched, collectively holding its breath, as the Philae lander, designed by OU space scientists, touched down on comet 67P following an epic journey through the solar system lasting 10 years. Our space scientists play key roles in iconic missions such as the Rosetta, the first landing on the comet, using cutting-edge technology that are unlocking the secrets of the universe and are helping to overcome practical challenges here on Earth too, as well as contributing to the growth of the space sector in the UK economy. Now, an OU qualification shows commitment, dedication, and perseverance. It shows you are capable of fulfilling your dreams, no matter what challenges might appear in your way. It shows courage to start something new, to see it through, and to finish with success. Open University students really are like no other. But it's not just your achievement, it's ours too, the university's. From the advisor in registrations who handled your first hesitant telephone inquiry, the academics in Milton Keynes who designed and wrote your course, and student service staff who supported you when you felt like you couldn't go on, they all share in that achievement. And of course, our associate lecturers, the women and men who guided you through the whole OU learning experience from the moment you opened that brown cardboard box full of course materials or logged onto the module website to the moment you crossed the stage today. They deserve special mention for all their dedication. They are our greatest asset in making the student experience a rich and rewarding one. Every one of us at the Open University has a little stake in what you've accomplished, and believe me, every one of us is full of pride when we see you celebrating today. It was the Open University staff who helped you make this possible. Some of them are here on the stage with me today, so please let's take a moment to say thank you to them. When you first announced that you were going to study with the Open University, how many people said you wouldn't be able to get the qualification you just received? And when the work got tough and the deadline stacked up, how many of you questioned whether you'd be able to carry on? How many of you risked submitting your TMA at midnight instead of the official printed 12 or 4 p.m. deadline? But here's the thing, you did it. You carried on, you proved the cynics wrong, and today you get your reward. And if you can do it there's really no limit to what you can achieve in the future. So what will that future take you? What should you do with your hard-earned qualification? The best advice I can give you is summed up by just 3 words that have been staring at you in the face for the past hour or so. They're right up there in the university's crest. Learn and live. That is something all Open University graduates embody as soon as they step back out into their busy lives. For with the achievement also comes responsibility. A responsibility to give something back, to put your qualifications and knowledge to the best possible use, where you work, where you live, and within your family. Don't think of today as the end of your education. It's just another step along a lifelong journey. And remember to keep in touch and tell us how you're getting along. As a member of our alumni community, you are part of a vast network of people as extraordinary as you are. Members of our alumni team are waiting out in the foyer and would love to talk with you about what our Alumni Association can offer, as well as ways you can give back to the university. Now, it's been a real year of great success for the Open University in Ireland. We have worked with 2,000 students in the Republic of Ireland and 3,600 students in Northern Ireland. Uniquely, we have students in every county on the island. We continue to be active members of Universities Ireland and Uversity, but more importantly, have increased our public engagement work through guest lecture series in engineering, science, and management. A key highlight was our very popular engagement with Culture Night Dublin. This year, we took our creative writing students out of the university setting to the Winding Stair bookshop just off O'Connell Street, which provided a fantastic platform for our students to share their creativity with their fellow citizens in Dublin. We look forward also to launching a new programme called Routes to Growth later this year to assist small to medium-sized enterprises to grow. This project has been made possible by a very generous donation to the Open University in Ireland from the business community to recognise the contribution of Lord Haskins, a leading Irish businessman and former Pro-Chancellor of the Open University. And also on the 7th of July 2016, this year, we will celebrate the 20th anniversary of acquiring our Dublin headquarters here with a keynote event at the Croke Park Hotel, not just reflecting on our work over 2 decades, but more importantly, how we can continue to spearhead the use of high-quality part-time and flexible higher education in Ireland. Be proud of Ireland and be proud of the OU. Seize the opportunities that life presents. While for some of you this may be the end of your formal studies with us, others of you may be planning to continue on to other, perhaps higher qualifications. Whatever choice you make, you should all be aware that we continue to offer freely available material on platforms like OpenLearn and FutureLearn that will allow you to continue to learn and live long after today. You have demonstrated to the world the talents that you knew lay within you, but now you have to go out there and show people what Open University graduates are capable of. You may have finished as an Open University student, but you remain a part of the Open University community. And I hope, perhaps once you've recovered from your efforts, that you might want to share your experience with others you know. Please tell people about what you got out of your OU experience and encourage them to follow your path. We want you to remain proud of that association. It should give you a sense of belonging, and we hope to be proud of a university so that you can say, I studied there. In January, we found out that the OU was placed in the top 20 universities for producing the best graduates in the workplace, as determined by the Times Higher Education magazine. What this means for you is that you're in an even better position. You're coveted by employers. So aim high, dare to dream of future achievements, and dare to make those dreams real. If you do all that, your incredible achievements won't end with the qualification we are celebrating today. They will carry on across all your endeavours for many years to come. In a moment, the proceedings will end and the ceremonial party will process out. But please do join me, our honorary graduate, and all of the processing party outside the auditorium so we can congratulate you in person after the ceremony. Now, can I ask one last time for all our graduates to stand? And I'm going to ask everyone to give them the biggest round of applause that they've had all day. Would all of you, those of you who are able to stand, please do so. The proceedings of this degree ceremony have now been completed, and I now declare this meeting of the congregation closed.